Hello YouTube, Magnitude Gaming here with our next episode covering the history of competitive play. 3 weeks after SJC Atlanta, the SJC circuit took us to Chicago, Illinois. We were early in the format, and there was a lot of speculation on what deck would win. While the Chaos Engine and Warriors were standard, the bigger question was what techs would be made. Tech choices were the difference between scrubbing out and heading to top 8. Chicago also saw one of the first events where people began to incorporate more Monarchs into their decks. 388 duelists showed up to SJC Chicago. Team Scoop was on a roll, but another team was entering the tournament scene. It was inevitable that more teams would continue to go for the spotlight as Yugioh became more popular and tournaments got bigger. However, it's unlikely that people anticipated the next big team would be north of the border. Meet Team Superfriends. The team hailed from Canada, and Chicago 2005 is where it all began. One of the members, Matt Peddle, was already seen in our earlier episode on SJC Indy. He had made top 8. If you watch this episode, then you already know that he's destined to be one of the greatest players to ever come out of Canada. The team consisted of Peddle, Jason Tran, Chris Simos, and the Bolito brothers, Lazaro, and their captain, Dale Bolito. These two brothers are absolutely legendary, and it's not fair for me to say, or anybody to say, that these guys are just the best players to ever come out of Canada. The Bolito brothers are some of the greatest players to ever play the game, period. There's no way to talk about the history of the game and not mention the Bolito brothers. These guys are in the first paragraph, maybe even the first line. The brothers have 5 premier event wins and over 30 tops between both of them. The team played at the Untouchables locals in Canada. They had been tearing up the competition in Canada for over 2 years. Since no Shonen Jumps were held in Canada, the team made the trip to Chicago. Dale and Lazaro both made top 8. Lazaro was playing a very standard Chaos Warrior build. Honestly, nothing stood out too much. He was taking a Blade Knight and setting 2 Gatekeeper Spies. Dale was playing a version focused more on Mystic Tomato. Tomato gave access to Spirit Reaper, Sangan, and Nudoria. Team Scoop was hot on their heels. Paul Leviton had topped for the 3rd event in a row. Paul Leviton was taking his deck with Bazoo, the Soul Eater, Twin-Headed Behemoth, and 3 Spirit Reapers. Carlos Santiago from Team Scoop was also in his second top 8 in 3 events. He was playing a deck similar to Paul's, although he opted 1 Goblin Elite Attack Force instead of 2. Jerry Wang from Team Overdose was also in his second top 8 in 3 events. He was second row decreeing Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master in the Chaos Warrior deck he was playing. He was representing Team Overdose. Agustin Herrera from Team Kamikaze was in his first top 8 finish. Agustin would end up placing in various events in the future, and even got second place at SJC Orlando many years later. He was a very underrated player for sure. Agustin opted to focus his deck more on Monarchs, no Warriors. He relied on Gatekeeper Spy and Tekoichi for advantage. He would then overpower his opponents with Mobius, Thestalos, and Zaborg. John Nolasquez was a local Chicago native, and he had made top 8 with, yeah, you guessed it, Chaos Warriors. He opted to main 2 Chaos Sorcerers, while many players were just playing either 1 or 0. Bryce Thompson from Team Rampage was taking 3 Cyber Dragons and 1 Chaos Sorcerer along with 3 Tekoichi. He was also playing 1 Zombra the Dark in his Chaos Warrior deck. Top 8 had Jerry Wang and Paul Leviton squaring off, Overdose versus Scoop. These guys were repping the best teams in the East Coast, and Paul Leviton was arguably the player with the most momentum going into this tournament. These guys dueled it out into time, and unfortunately for Jerry, he couldn't beat Paul. Jerry was out, and Paul Leviton was heading to top 4. Carlos Santiago was able to take another win for Team Scoop, as he emerged victorious over Agustin Herrera. The Bolito brothers were also victorious in their top 8 matchups, and they were heading to the semifinals. Top 4 pitted Lazaro Bolito against Carlos Santiago, and Dale Bolito against Paul Leviton. It was Team Superfriends versus Team Scoop on each side of the bracket. Lazaro and Carlos went down to the wire, but a top deck Goblin Elite Attack Force was enough to wipe out Lazaro's life points in Game 3. Meanwhile, Dale was able to beat Paul Leviton to prevent an all-Team Scoop finals. The finals was set between Team Superfriends and Team Scoop. Dale was hoping to become the first international player to win a Shonen Jump title, while Carlos Santiago was trying to solidify Team Scoop's dominance once and for all. That was it. Dale Bolito from Team Superfriends was the champion of Chicago. After 2 games, he took down Carlos Santiago from Team Scoop and was the first Canadian and international player to ever win an SJC title. Dale put not just his team, but his country on his back, and let it be known to the Yu-Gi-Oh world that Team Superfriends and Canada have entered the spotlight. That does it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune in for the next episode, SJC Los Angeles 2005. That's a T from Magnitude, guys. Thank you so much for watching.